Matron, take them away.
Okay, let's have a little look at cable as discussed with the guys this morning. Now, I'm going to run this from a clean chart. I'm going to have a little look at it. So, what was we talking about? Well, we're talking about cable and biases and one thing and another. And I've put in my sheet, which is here. Kind of looking at it to monitor, and it's telling me to sell it. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, cable isn't a market I would necessarily be trading today. Okay, because it's not in here and it's not in here. However, the pound is, but the pound is incredibly weak, and it's also losing a lot of ground against yesterday. But so is the dollar. And the dollar's losing more than the pound. So that is a little bit of a concern. And if I look on the strength meter, that's kind of middle of the road. Okay, so I've got to be a little bit careful about what I'm doing. It is surging up on the 5 minute. But if I start having a look at this, that can actually give us a good opportunity based on this. Now, let's just look at the daily a second so you can see it. I like to look at a clean chart, and you should look at clean charts. Massive volume of selling, and now it's slowing down. Now, the question is this an upside down flag to push down, or is it a reversal? Well, until this tells me otherwise, it's selling, which would then put that down here somewhere. Okay. Let's look at the 4 hour. Well, the 4 hour is telling me the same sort of situation. There's the collapse, comes down, bit of consolidation, but it's still predominantly down over. Now, if we crunch this up a little bit, there's the base. It's kind of in this. So the question is, what's it going to try and sweep out? Well, the chances are it's that. Okay. Now, if we are looking at a fib, we can go, well, there was an accelerant there which got up as high as this point and then failed. All right, you can see that because it failed there, but it's finally come back to this 50%, which is here. So it's actually on a pivot at this moment in time. Drop this to an hourly. And if we look at it, it's respecting that fully. So now what I want to do is I'm actually going to look at a pivot. Just switch all of these off so that I can kind of see what it is I'm looking at with a clean chart. And we'll put the pivot on, just like so. Right. Where did it open? Well, let's look for 12 o'clock. Right, well, it opened on the pivot. So it's been down to S1. It's come back to the pivot. The question is, which one of these is it going to try and get to next? So we know it's coming here, and we know it's going there. All right. So you can use your pivots for this. So we've now built up some form of a structure. I'm going to put the Bollinger Band back on. Okay. And what we can see, it's pushed through. It's holding on the moving average, but it is collapsing down on itself. So this is kind of going into a range-bound situation. How do we know that? Because we can see it flattened out. All right, that's pushing down, but it is sausaging. All right. Well, if it's in a range, then when it pushes to the top, I want it to come back down on itself. So take it to 5 minutes, just like so. Get rid of that, don't really need it. what have we got now? Well, now we've got a strong move. Let's look at 15 minutes. There it is. There's the collapse. Where's it collapsing from? The base of this move coming back on itself. So for me, I'm going to drop an order in as a sell. Just like so. Kaboom. Right. Oh, it's picked it up straight away. And we're going to look to come down on itself into probably about 20 pips. So I'll give it 20 pips just for argument's sake onto there. And then I'll madness it up the opposite direction. Now if I put this into 5 minutes, just like so, there it is, it's coming down, push it into there. I've got all of this room to sort of add extra orders in. We've got a swing point here. If it breaks through here, I'll reevaluate what's going on. But in the meantime, I might put an order here, one here, one here, final one there, and then I'll make a decision up here somewhere. So that's the premise of the trade. It's what I'm going to be doing. I'll let it play out. Okay, boys and girls, that's the job done, and quite a good job indeed. Earlier on this morning, just sort of clarification of what's going on. I pull this up, kind of see the bias going in 9 o'clock. Going to sell it, updated it later on. I'm in the trade. But what's more important is in this morning call here, where we all get together. These are done at 7:45 this morning, and I discussed how I thought that trade would play out, or more to the point, I discussed the bias and how I thought cable would play out today, and broke down exactly how this chart would work. And it's done pretty much what I said it would do. Now, I wanted to keep it for pip count because it's very nice to see massive figures, sort of 50 quid a point. Well, if you're on 50 quid a point, you do 10 pips. is that really good? Well, yeah, because 10 pips will pay you. But at 50 quid a point, as you see on some channels, excuse me, it's a ticking time bomb. Because unless the account is big enough to take it, then that's not really a good trade, you know. In this, if we look at it, this sort of went 47 pips in my favor here. And all I did was I took a bit of money out, repositioned it, entered it again, let it run, and it has paid me quite well for not doing a great deal. Not really, you know. So sometimes don't get dazzled by the big numbers. You don't need the big numbers. You need to be looking at the big trades, the good trades. Now, my rule of thumb is very simple. I work to a minimum of 10 pips. Minimum. If I can't get 10 pips out of it in the course of either bouncing or in a single move, I won't entertain that trade. But what I always try to do is go with the prevailing trend. Try to keep in motion with the market. And that way, well, I think it works out in my favor. So there we go. Quite an easy one today, just backing up what I said. For those who don't like it, I'm not really bothered, to be honest. The thing is, there's those who can, there's those who think, and there's those who do. Well, I'd like to think I'm one of the ones who do, because I always show it in the moment, and I try and keep it as sort of in the moment and as real as I can get it. And I can't be any fairer than that. I really can't, because everything you see on this channel is live. It's real life. When you see Joanne and I talking, it's just the way we speak to each other. Nothing is scripted and nothing is done to try and encroach you, to sort of go, oh, look at me, or anything like that. I'm just showing you what I do for a living and hopefully inspire you into better things. Now, if you're out there thinking that there's free rides, you've lost, because there's no free rides in this world. If you're out there thinking you're going to be driving a Lamborghini off 200 quid, you've lost, because that's gambling. But if you're out there wanting to invest in yourself, because when you pay for something, it doesn't necessarily mean it's money. Investing in yourself is payment, and that investment is time. Then you've got a chance. If you just think this is easy, free ride, it's not. Not even close. You know. And that's that. So as always, guys, treat it with respect. Keep it simple, and you'll be fine. I normally say to the next one, but I'm not sure about that at this moment in time. So trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you.